What's up? We're Anklebiter. We're in San Antonio at Crazy Rhythms, and we're going to do some record shopping with Sunday Drive Records. Band saw for one of my very first hardcore shows. I don't know if they're from Orange County or just California, where I'm from, but they were a big rev band in the area, and they were always playing program, and that's like very nostalgic for me. Here. Take it.
Fantastic hardcore record. It kind of created hardcore in a way. Fugazi.
Oh, word. I love that album line too.
And I'd be catching myself putting like Sweet and Low on a loop, so my brain can like sizzle out. Yeah, you can have this back.
I'm taking it back. Word.
Sadly, I don't press this on color.
If we're talking about like Rev Summer stuff, it doesn't get better than this. Was this Discord Records? I don't even know. Oh, it is Discord.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite record from that era. I feel like a lot of people are referencing Fugazi now, but I think just historically, this is the most referenced album from that era, and it's like weirdly, like tragically beautiful. I love it so much.
Yeah, Slow Dive. Yeah, I listen to pretty much all their stuff, kind of more so in passing than I do like actually listening to it, but still a really good record. Not my. This one is just for today. Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
Give Rachel the mic.
Chubby!
So good.
I don't know if this band is still active anymore.
They're not. They broke up when we went to England.
No, but aren't they playing another show soon?
I'm not up on my chubby lore.
I think I saw that, but
So good.
2 records, both incredible. This is the second one, which is like, they're a cool band. They kind of do like the British, I best described by like a British version of like Fast Oi, if that makes sense.
So specific.
But also like they have like British like pub rock in there. It's fucking awesome. The song on this record, Beat That Drum, really cool. I've been trying to rip that song off for a minute.
We landed in England, the two of us and a bunch of our friends, and the only words we could say were, "You was a kid.
Yep.
What did you know?"
I have not done my homework on this band enough, but from what I've gathered, they were like one of those bands that like everybody in hardcore kind of cared about, despite not really sounding like a hardcore band. Like before that was like, or they were like early into that, because like you got to remember that like hardcore kids back in the day wouldn't even listen to like a variety within hardcore, let alone like music outside of that. From what I've gathered, this band like kind of bridged that gap to a degree, and I think that's dope. I need to do more homework though, for sure.
That record's so good.
Maybe I'll get it. Get more classic than this. This is like, would you say, I mean, besides Bad Brains, probably the first hardcore band besides Bad Brains, invented straight edge. I mean,
this is the record.
this band wouldn't exist. Anklebiter wouldn't exist without Minor Threat. I know that's like, but that's almost
But also,
like
neither would a ton of things.
that's like redundant to say. It's like when a band says they sound like Bad Brains or Minor Threat, it's like, yeah, so does every hardcore band, you know? I think, I don't know.
This isn't a record, but
Oh yeah, hold up.
they got a CD of All We Know Is Following by Paramore, which is kind of dope. Definitely like wicked used, but
We've
it's
listened to
only
this record.
$3.
We listened to this record about like 9 times in the van already,
Yeah.
like in full.
It's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah. Okay, you can have your mic back.
Last note on the Minor Threat record. I remember when I was like first starting to play guitar, I tried to learn Straight Edge by Minor Threat, and it's recorded so poorly that I couldn't figure out the guitar parts. And like, I feel like if a band was like, we're gonna cover this, everybody go home and learn it, like everybody would be learning like a different riff, and I think that's awesome. But there was something else I saw here. Yeah, I love Tony Molina. Have you listened to this record?
No.
So I found him because he toured with Dare and Culture Abuse on that full US that
We
happened.
literally talked about that
I know, we were
this
just talking about it this morning. It's like, I guess it's like lo-fi pop music, but it's like made clearly by somebody who like gets our world, and like it's like really soft and sweet, and like it has no reason to be, you know. I love this record. This might be what I pick up. While we're talking about foundational DC hardcore bands. I mean, this is the first. What's up?
I found one that I got really excited. So this is this is New Hell by Greet Death. I don't know much about this band besides I like follow them on Twitter and they're like really good. Their song Do You Feel Nothing is probably one of my favorite songs of all time. And it's like I don't listen to this band very much. It's just such a good song and such a good record.
What type of shit is it?
It's kind of like emo-ish, post-hardcore-ish type stuff. It's really good. I love this album. Okay, here we go.
So the Bad Brains, foundational hardcore record, one of the best of all time, the first of all time, and a band that I know it sounds redundant, like I said earlier, to say that a hardcore band sounds like the Bad Brains, but it's a band that I was looking to a lot when I was writing the early Anklebiter stuff, just because like they killed it in every aspect. It's one of the best live bands of all time, but also aesthetically, everything is so bright and colorful, something that we've tried to do. Like, it's no accident, you know? And, like, I mean, yeah, we're both fast hardcore bands, but, like, everybody rips this band off. It's one of the best records of all time.
This album is, I don't know how you say it. I think it's called, I'm gonna butcher it even if I try. So this album, I actually found it through TikTok because one of their songs was going viral. It's not my usual thing. It's definitely more of like a dark wave post-punk thing from Russia, or they're from Belarus actually, but all their songs are in Russian. I don't know anything what they're saying. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm pretty sure the song that went viral on TikTok was about like a famous poet who committed suicide. So why people made that go viral, I have no idea. But really good album. They were one of my top streamed artists last year. So
not a lot of records here that like, or I mean, I'm not looking at a lot of records that like, I have a lot to say about, but just a funny story that comes to mind with Cocksparrer. The second show I saw back after the pandemic was Madball, Cruel Hand, Death Before Dishonor, and Ilcom in Connecticut, and Death Before Dishonor does a cover of England Belongs to Me, but they say Boston Belongs to Me, and they play it last every night. But there was one dude in the crowd who was like an old dude who was drunk, who after every single song they played would go, Cocksparrer! Try to get them to play the cover. And that's still like a running joke with all my friends, because that's where I met like most of the people that I go to shows with, like to this day.
I want to have a conversation with E-Town Concrete and ask them like New Jersey political questions. Like, is it like, do they say pork roll or do they say Taylor ham? Because they're kind of on that border.
Is Central Jersey real?
Yeah, because they're bordering it. So I've got to know. So if E-Town ever sees this, let's talk Jersey stuff. Go Birds.
Real quick. My other band played E-Town, like Elizabethtown. Is it Elizabeth or
It's Elizabeth.
Okay, Elizabeth. And it was an awesome show. But also, E-Town is crazy. I see why they sound like that if they grew up there.
Elizabeth. I simply found this CD. I was running dry with the records. I found this one, and it simply made me think of Guitar Hero 3. I think they had 2 songs on there that were so good. I was shredding. I was crazy. If I could find a CD from Dragon Force, it'd be over. But alas, I cannot.
CD section is crazy. This is the All American Rejects, Move Along. I don't think I've actually ever listened to this album in full. They have some bangers on here.
What's on that record?
Dirty Little Secret, Move Along, It Ends Tonight. Those are the only ones I really know. But, Top of the World is on this one too. I don't know. They were a great band in the 2000s. I remember being like 6 and enjoying them. So
You're really you're gonna make some people feel their age with that one.
Yeah. Copyright 2006.
I feel like the best part about this episode is gonna be like older people watching and being like just like seething with rage that I can't sing every word to like a GBH song. Like, so on this tour that we're on right now with Scowl, we're covering the Rival Mob, and the first show I opened up the show by saying, hey, this song isn't ours. It came out when I was 8 years old, and like it was an old head show, and the whole room just went like,
We were the youngest.
come on.
We were the youngest people in that room by easy 25 years.
Awesome.
We came on stage, and then a bunch of like old people, for lack of a better term, ran in and they're like, "There's kids up there! There's kids up there!"
We have to support the youth. The show that I claimed Edge at was a Dare show in Pomona, California. It's Kids, the original motion picture soundtrack. And Dare did, for their shirt that they were selling at that show, they only had 7 inches in a shirt. It was a gray shirt, which was a rip of this. And it was all 4 members at the time. Their pictures like in the colors of the Kids thing. And again, just me being like young and not knowing shit, I brought that up to Angel recently, and he was like, yeah, the Kids rip. I was like, the what? And he was like, man. And I just thought that was funny. Very much outside of the world that we exist in, but Jamiroquai, phenomenal band, big band in my childhood. I was a bass player growing up. Not really much of a guitar player. Still not really much of a guitar player. And some of the best bass parts of all time. I can't say I'm super familiar with this record, but the band in general has incredible parts and was like super foundational for me to learn those parts and get better. Top 5 jazz record of all time for me. Charles Mingus, one of the best bass players of all time, and this record is like, it's like bizarre in so many ways in how it's written, and it's like it's like comically bizarre at some points, but also like there are parts where it's like you could fall asleep to it, and other times where it's just so like vibey, and it's an incredible record. It's one of the best jazz performances of all time. Yeah, thank you, Dad, for showing me that. I am. I played jazz. I was in the school jazz band for like a while. That was like a lot of how I learned how to play my instrument. I'm talking about old punk, like pre-hardcore punk. This is as good as it gets. This is a perfect record. I think this might be my dad's favorite record of all time. So I heard it a lot growing up, but like there's shit from this that you could 100% take and apply to like writing a hardcore song and stuff like that. Death or Glory, Guns of Brixton, Spanish Bombs, Brand New Cadillac, my favorite song on this record. Shout out Thomas Hart. That's all. And then this is what I was gonna pull up next. If we're talking about my dad, because he's so foundational for why I listen to most of the music I listen to. I think this is his favorite band. He switches it up every year, it feels like, but... I
think it's Anklebiter.
Yeah, now it's Anklebiter. This record is incredible. It's like OG weirdo music, you know? It's like the original, like... No, straight up. It's like the original, like why the fuck are they doing, why are they moving like that, like type of band, but like also one of the best bands of all time. I will stand by that. Nope. One of the greatest albums of all time. Weirdo post-punk from the, I want to say 80s, I think that's right. What does it say? 77. Another record my dad showed me, I think every time we're in a record store, he'll pull this record up. He'll be like, you need to listen to this. I'll be like, I've been listening to this record for years, Dad, but great record. Nostalgic for me because of how much my dad loves it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get All We Know Is Falling.
It's only $20.99, so get this one.
Perfect. And
Wait, how much is that total?
43.
43? Wait, if we get... Where's the owner?
I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Hi.
How are you guys today?
I'm good, how are you? So, we left with...
Molchat. Itaji by Molchat Doma. I'm butchering that.
Awesome Belarus post-punk, and then we left with In the Fade by Tony Molina. Incredible, like, bedroom pop, but like not like a Claro way. And then The Renaissance by E-Town Concrete, New Jersey Legends, and then the record that started it all for this band, All We Know Is Falling by Paramore. We're Anklebiter. This was awesome. Thank you to Jonathan. Thank you to Sunday Drive Records.
Thank you, Texas.
Yeah, thank you, Texas. Thank you, San Antonio. Thank you, Crazy Rhythms. Yeah. Yeah. Any last words?
No.
Thank you, Jonathan, for it all.
Thank you, Jonathan.